Good evening, everyone. The requirements of the world are changing at a faster pace. And to meet this requirement, we have great innovators around the world who tackle the situation and helps us cope up with it. And behind every innovation, we have great ideas and stories behind them. Good evening once again, everyone, and I welcome each and every one of you to My Story, a motivational session by successful entrepreneurs conducted by the Startup and Innovation Cell of St. Thomas College in association with the Institute's Innovation Council. Before beginning the program, let's have a silent prayer. Thank you, everyone. I would now like to welcome the coordinator of today's program, Dr. Jilmi P. Joy, ma'am, for the welcome speech.
Good afternoon, all. A respected principal, Dr. Joy Kale, today's innovator speaker, Mr. Paul Alex, the convener of Startup and Innovation Cell in St. Thomas College, Dr. John Snaduvat, the committee members, all the faculties, and dear students. It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome all of you to this webinar on motivational session by successful innovators. This session is organized by the Startup and Innovation Cell in St. Thomas College in association with the institution's Innovation Council. We are delighted to have you with us to participate this session. Thank you for joining us. In the current society, the innovation plays a major role. Innovation, of course, is not a short-term fix, but it's a continuous long-term endeavor. This is so because in today's highly globalized economy, innovation has become the key driver for growth and competitiveness in middle income and advanced economies. The capability to innovate will be increasingly a crucial determinant of the global competitiveness of nations over the coming decades. By capability to innovate, I refer to not only the capability of creating new technologies, but also of disseminating, adapting, and adopting existing technologies. In such a situation, it will be good to have a startup and innovation cell in college level. Whenever we talk about innovation, most of us think innovation by engineer, but this concept need to change. Innovation can be by anyone. In order to motivate that, in St. Thomas College, an autonomous arts and science college, we have startup and innovation cell which helps students to create and come up with new ideas. For all activities of innovation cell, there is a great support from the side of principal. In this occasion, I am glad to welcome Dr. Joy Kale, the principal of St. Thomas College, to this event. One of the most important fact for the ability to innovate is the motivation and commitment. Today's resource person, Mr. Paul Alex, is apt to give a motivational session. He is the founder and chief executive officer of Hound Electric, which is based in Kochi in Kerala. He was the most innovative idea winner at the Young Entrepreneurs Summit by the government of Kerala in 2015. We are lucky to get a TEDx speaker as our resource person to handle this session. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome today's guest, Mr. Paul Alex. The Startup and Innovation Cell in the college has started before 2 years and it's conducting many activities. And the success behind this cell is mainly because of the convener. I welcome Dr. John Snudworth, the convener of Startup and Innovation Cell, to this event. Each team member in the Startup and Innovation Cell has a role to make the Startup and Innovation Cell to a success. I welcome all the members to this event. For every section, the audience is very important. Let me welcome all the faculty members and the students to this program. I wish you all a productive and successful event. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your beautiful words. With great honor, I would like to I would like to welcome the Principal of St. Thomas College, Dr. Joy KL, for the Presidential Address.
Okay, good afternoon to all. Resource person, Mr. Paul Alex, Vice Principal Dr. Joby Thomas, Dr. Father Martin Columbrath, Dr. Sister Alfonso Matthew, Dr. John Snadworth, the convener of Startup and Innovation Cell, Dr. Jilmi P. Joy, faculty members, research scholars, and my dear students. This gives me an immense pleasure to take part in this motivational session organized by the Startup and Innovation Cell of our college in association with the Institutional Innovations Council. I am sure that the session like this will enlighten the partakers to have proper comprehension and pure assimilation of facts which may lead ultimately to the personal and social excellence. And our college will be highly benefited by such enlightening sessions, making the students to stand upright to the high levels of expected standards, keeping abreast with the advancement in understandings. Such modulations will make the youth fit to the advancements and to the properly socio-conscious to make them ready to contribute what they have to for the welfare of our society. Let me extend sincere gratitude and warm welcome to the guest of the day, Mr. Paul Alex, CEO, Horn Electric, Kochi, Kerala. I am happy to congratulate Dr. John Snadworth, the convener of our Startup and Innovation Cell, Dr. Jilmi Joy, the convener of this national webinar, and team members on behalf of the administration of this great alma mater. I wish everyone all the best of prosperity in every endeavor they undertake. Wishing one and all a happy new year. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Innovators are those people who break the challenges and explore the areas of opportunity. Today, for our My Story session, we have such an innovator who is so optimistic and also break the excluding challenges. He is also a TEDx speaker, and our speaker has an extensive knowledge in electric vehicle technology and design. He is also having expertise in technology, creative design, product development, and art. Our today's speaker also has received an award for Most Innovative Idea Award conducted by the government during Young Entrepreneurs Summit. I would like to welcome our guest, Mr. Paul Alex, the founder of Hout Electrics and co-founder of XWorks. He is also a great mentor who mentored students in the case of electric vehicle design and also IC engines. I would like to welcome Paul Alex, sir.
Thank you for having me here. It is a huge pleasure to be in front of although I'm in front of a camera, and I hope a lot of people can see me, and that gives me immense pleasure to be in front of you. So without further ado, I think we'll go into the slides. I've prepared a couple of slides for you. So yeah. So the session is called the motivational session by successful innovators. So what I wanted to do was, I mean, from my personal side, I don't think it's absolutely right, because motivational, it depends on you if you get motivated, or if you're able to take out anything out of what I say. So and successful, I would say I'm not successful yet. Success is always relative. You keep different levels of. I mean, for everybody, success is different. For me, it could be something like being on top of the world. Somebody else, it could be something else. So I would like to rename the session as just a session by an innovator. Yes, I am an innovator. I have some experience with designing stuff. You know, when you talk about innovation, it's, I mean, what is innovation? Innovation is something. I believe innovation is something when uh, you have a problem and you need a solution. So there might be X different solutions for a problem, but you find a solution that is uh, that is more efficient, or maybe more cost effective, or better in terms of whatever whatever terms that you want to compare it. So that is an innovation. And before I go into that stuff, I'll just give an intro about myself. I know Aparna had given you a very good intro about me, but I think it's better to come from my side. So who am I? I am an engineer, obviously, and I if you go to the cliche description of people like me, I'm a 90s kid, the last one to use a tape recorder and a film camera. Um, so and a very hardcore Vandi Brandon. So that's who I am. I was my schooling was all in near Pala, Panay and Alfonso Residential School, and from the time when I was in school itself, I was a hardcore photographer. I wanted to be a photographer. I think I'm good at it because I've got invitation from uh, a couple of premier institutions from in India. So I wanted to be a photographer, but due to the social uh, pressures and all, I had to go and join engineering as a lot of other people, and I joined National Institute of Technology as a mechanical engineering student. And this is where my life sort of changed. Not the point when I joined, but something happened while I was in college. In the first year, I was sitting in the hostel doing nothing, bored. I was tinkering about my camera and all. And one of my friend came to my room and said, "Bro, there is a couple of seniors of us who are designing for, vehicles and things like that." So then, and he said, like, "I know you are a Vandi Brandon, so you could have a look at them. If we can be a part of it, it will be great." And all. So uh, I was bored, so I had nothing to do, so I went with him. And that's how I joined Team Unwired. Team Unwired is basically a club in our college. We take care of. It's a very open club system where we didn't have. It was unlike any club I've seen. There is no membership stuff. There is nothing like that. What we had was a workshop where we could do anything that we want. So I joined Team Unwired and we built this vehicle. This was second year or third year, I think, and so that's where the journey, sort of, took a right turn and went into technical. And until then, I wanted to be a photographer, and being a part of Team Unwired changed everything. And the major reason for that was, I would say, inspiration, which I will come to in later. So inspiration was my seniors. I had a very good a bunch of seniors who were very passionate about things they do. They've done they've made planes, they've made cars, they made a lot of stuff, and they inspired me to be learn about these kind of stuff, learn more about vehicles, technology, and things like that. So that's how I got. I actually got sort of inducted into the technology realm. And so, as I said, we had a workspace. This was our workspace. We had like two best shed where we could do anything we wanted. We had a lathe. You could actually see a couple of cars. There was one being built in one shed. There's one lying around in the other one. There are a couple of chassis in the left side. So this was almost like a place. This was a place I spent almost, could be 90% of my college life, and I sort of got addicted to this place, and I would randomly go there, sit there, do nothing, just have a couple of spanners or something. I'll be tinkering with something, and there'll be people. And the philosophy of that club was that anybody who needs to do a project, who has something to work on technically, or it doesn't have to be technical at all. We provided the space for them. We provided a platform where they can use the tools, they can get familiarized with the tools, they can do work, do on their project. This place was open 24/7 for to anybody. There were no restrictions at that point. So and I'm not a studious person. I am okay at studies, but I prefer to spend the majority of my time in this place. So yeah, I didn't go to a lot of classes. I sort of regret that now, but yeah. Anyway, this place gave me such experience where some random people will be coming to the space, and they'll be doing some projects. So by default, I'll be going to them and will be asking, bro, what's the project, what is happening, and try to help them. And more than me trying to help them, it was a way for me to learn new skills, learn about new stuff. Uh, I'm so much grateful for that opportunity that I had there. So that is engineering. Now, right after engineering, there's a disclaimer. I dropped out of college because my academics was not great. But when I came out of college, I was confident enough that I had enough experience, enough hands-on experience. So you could call me a hands-on person. I rarely go by theories, but I do. So that's who I am. Now, right after college, we thought of while I was in college itself, we thought of doing startups. I had a sort of like a startup in the second year, which was a web development company. Which we had a couple of clients. Then we got bored with it. I went on to do a couple of other projects, be with Team Unwired and things like that. And right after college, I decided I wanted to build a high performance electric motorcycle, and this is what it is. So this, if you talk about this motorcycle, it's about 60 horsepower. That's around. If you compare it to the IC engine, it's somewhere around 600, 400 cc, 600 cc engine. So this was that powerful, and so I brought together a couple of friends who are also very passionate about vehicles and building stuff and all. So we came together and built this. But I wanted to take it further, but that didn't really happen. There were a lot of mistakes I made. I was I was new at this startup thingy, and I didn't know exactly what to do. I made a lot of mistakes basically, and that led to sort of this Hound Electric. We call it the Hound Electric 1.0, Hound Electric dying down. And in 2016, I started. So this was Hound Electric, and I started 2016. I started Tom and Pax, which got rebranded to Xwords. So at Xwords, it was completely a different domain. It was advertising, technology, and things like that. Again, all of my career I've been in technology and design. So Xwords was at Xwords I was taking care of uh, the technology part of it, where I was majorly focusing on the hardware technology. We've designed and developed a product where you must have heard of Ola Play, and this is something like that. And we developed this product for the Kerala market, and this was the first in Kerala market. Uh, so I was heading that project. But even after that, even after like 3 years working for that on that company, I felt it was. I mean, I was not feeling satisfied. The satisfaction level is not there, because this was not a passion project for me. This was there was, oh, there was passion in it, but the kind of passion now I have for what I'm doing currently was not there. It was initially started as a way for me to be not stuck at home, not doing anything. I wanted to do something. So that's how Tom and Pack started, and it turns into Xwords and things like that. So then again, like last year, I went back to my old friends and talked to them, and we started Hound Electric again. So that's the Hound that you told about now. So all this, the whole journey for me was always an ups and downs. So it was mostly about passion that that made me move forward. Always there was some element of passion in it, where I wanted to do something. And like I said earlier, I am a person who's a hands-on engineer. I want to do stuff with my hands. So that is majorly why I wanted to come back to electric vehicles. And again, electric vehicles for me is a huge passion. Like I said, I am a proper വണ്ടി ഭ്രാന്തൻ. എനിക്ക് വണ്ടികൾ എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത്യാവശ്യം നല്ല ഭ്രാന്തുള്ളതാണ്. So that's what I thought was വണ്ടികൾ, the era of IC engines and everything is almost done. I mean, I am also an environmentalist. I like I said, when I wanted to be a photographer, I wanted to be a nature photographer, and that sort of pushed me towards the environmental side of it. I'm concerned about the environment, and I wanted to be a nature photographer and a conservationist and things like that. So that side of it made me not go into the IC engine territory, and I wanted to do something greener, something that is good and things like that. That's why I went on to the electric vehicles. Having said that, electric vehicles are not slow. That is major misconceptions that a lot of people has. Electric vehicles are slow. They are not powerful. So I always tell this analogy. What do you think a train is powered by? Yes, it is powered by a diesel engine, but the thing that is rotating the wheel is an electric motor. So electric motors are that powerful, that scalable, that it's very diverse. You can, I mean, there is no place where you can't see an electric motor. Even if you take your phone, the small vibrator in your phone is actually a motor. So there is a motor everywhere. Whatever technology you look at, there is a motor. So that also helped me understand what technology needs to be incorporated into the vehicles and things like that. And that's how we are currently moving. We are currently moving forward as a hardware development company, and we develop electric vehicle hardware and components for specific use cases. So we have even worked on agricultural and aquaculture industries for motors and drivetrains and things like that. So basically, we are a powertrain company. We develop electric vehicle and basically powertrain altogether. So again, we'll come back to the question I asked you initially. What is innovation? So up until now I was just talking about me, but I now on what I want to talk to you is about how to be an innovator, how to explore yourself, how to be a person who can create something that is for the good of the humanity. So what is an innovation? Like I said earlier, an innovation is something that is that something that is more efficient, more cost effective, or better in some manner uh, compared to the current solutions or issues that we have. So how does innovation happen? Innovation doesn't really happen. It's not a eureka moment where you have a light bulb lit. It's not that. It doesn't happen like that. It is like climbing a ladder. You have to take it step by step. You need to you can't take a big leap and reach the top of the ladder. That doesn't happen in innovation. You have to take a step by step by step. It's okay to take it very slow. It's okay if it doesn't happen immediately, or it's okay if it completely fails. So, like Edison said when he invented the bulb, it didn't happen in like one day. It didn't like the day he plugged it into an electric socket. It he had to go through tens of thousands of iterations to reach that perfection. And that revolutionized the industry, right? So that is how innovation happens. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. And I want you to look at this sculpture. Like, this is probably the most famous sculpture or statue in the world. This is the David by Michelangelo. And if you look at it, this is so significant in the history, and so well done. The attention to detail is so much. And Michelangelo took around 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years, I guess, to build this. But and and but Michelangelo is not the one started the David. The David was actually started somewhere around 1460s, and was had to go through different phases. Different artists worked on this piece before Michelangelo finally got it and finished the whole thing in 1504. So this is a similar case of innovation also. Like, you don't have to be the pioneer. You don't have to be starting from scratch. When Michelangelo got the David, it was it was a very rough structure. What he did was he did the final touches. He finished it. He gave the detail into it. That is what Michelangelo did, and that is exactly how innovation also happens. It doesn't have to happen, or it doesn't have to. You don't have to start from scratch to be an innovator. You can take up bits and pieces from here and there where somebody might have left out. That they might not have thought of a process that could be more efficient. So you could take up that and finesse it and make a finished product out of it, or a finished technology out of it. And when I say innovation, it doesn't have to be technology itself. It can be anything. So innovation can be a process. Innovation can be a method. Innovation can be I would say, I was when I was talking to your faculties yesterday, I was mentioning this. UPI is an innovation in its own, but it is not a technological innovation. Yeah, technology helped it being it where it is, but the process, the concept of making payments easier is what the innovation is. Like they sort of figured out a way to uh, you know have this set up so that it is very easy for anybody to send money to each other. You don't have to log into your bank account and add beneficiary and wait for the OTP, which in majority of the cases may not come on time. And uh, so you don't have to go through all those hassle, but you can just, just like you text somebody, you can send money to anyone around the world. So that is the innovation. And it doesn't have to be technological. Technology is just a enabler for innovation. Technology helps you innovate faster. Technology helps you innovate easier. And so another how do you find or how do you become an innovator? So there are a couple of factors, and that's what I'm going to talk about. And the major one is passion. You need to be passionate about something. Only with passion you can do stuff. As in, if you're not passionate, this is that same thing that happened to me when I was in experts. I sort of started not being passionate about what I was doing. I got bored at things, so I figured, it's time for me to go back to where I was. I I I, I felt incomplete without vehicles and automobiles and things like that. So that's why, it may not happen to everybody. I found out about it when I was in college. I followed it. I would say I'm lucky to have the kind of support I got for doing this kind of stuff. And passion is what keeps you going forward. You may not know what your passion is now, but one day you will definitely find out. And when you find out, uh, go for it. That's what I have to suggest. And so where would you find passion? It's always happens from. I mean, nobody can tell you what your passion is. Somebody, I cannot tell you what your passion is. You cannot tell me what my passion is. It is always personal. And passion always depends on individuals. And it depends on it. You figure out your passion from personal experience, or like I said, an intrinsic desire to, or a desperate need to do something. So there was this a story I was reading some time back. Uh, uh, this happened in our premier institution in India, where it was a research institution, and they had a boy who comes to assist the professors and help in cleaning all the equipment and things like that. And this professor always used to look at this kid and see that he's always with books. He always used to read about something. He'd always be having some printed material in his hand. And one day, this professor went to the kid and asked like what he is studying on. And the boy said, he's researching on stem cells. And this boy is a person who has not even got a proper education. He knows how to read and write. That's all he knows. And this guy is researching on stem cells. Uh, and the doctor, the professor actually took him to the stem cell research in his institution. And uh, um, with other professors, they had a debate. And this guy was this boy knew more than a lot of the professors that they had. So, and the professor who took the boy was got curious and asked the boy what is the drive behind researching this, and realized that The boy's father had Alzheimer's and he wanted a cure for it. Whatever cure that, whatever solution that anybody could give, any doctors could give him was not enough. And that's why he started researching on uh, stem cells, and he wanted to make a difference in the world. So similarly, that is how you find out your passion. There might be some sparks here and there that you might think, yes, this is something I am deeply interested about. And so once you figure out that passion, or once you start to understand what you want to do, then comes uh, so uh, so then comes curiosity. And so I'll come to that. Before that, I have to go through one more slide, which is like, for me, how I would like to tell the story of how I became from uh, a photographer to an engineer. So I wanted to be a photographer. I was passionate about photography. Uh, I tried to join all the major institutions in the country, and then I became an engineer. It sort of slowly transitioned out, and nowadays I rarely touch my camera. It's more of machines and tools and things like that nowadays. Uh, Having said that, yes, I love photography. I still continue photography. So and similarly, your passion can also evolve. It can like in my case, it can start from photography to being an engineer. It might evolve from one point of time to the other. So that is also something I wanted to touch about. Coming to curiosity. So in order to develop your passion, you need to be curious about whatever is happening. So I always used to tell this analogy, or this story, or I'd rather ask you a question right now. What is the most powerful uh, thing that you have right now? So for me, the most powerful thing that I have is that the thing that is in your hands, your mobile phones or your laptops or whatever, and the access to internet. So this is an endless ocean of knowledge. Whenever you are curious about something, all you have to do is go to Google, search whatever it is. So I am a huge you know I'm hugely into uh, Googling, and I always tell everybody, like, whenever somebody asks a question, my always my answer used to be, if I don't know the answer, always my answer used to be is like, Google it. So and I think it's a very uh, uh, it's a very good source for knowledge whenever you want to do something, whenever you want to uh, learn about something. And nowadays Google has become so well done that whatever you have, it will give you a concise answer to whatever you are asking. So you don't really have to go into the website and learn about what is happening, or what you are learning about. You don't have to go through like 100 or 100 paragraph article to understand what Google will give you that concise answer. But and if you get interested in that answer, you can research further. Depending on your time and your interest, you can research further into that topic and learn more. And that is the majority of way I learned a lot of things. I didn't know how to code. I learned to code just by Googling. I learned to do CAD by Googling. I learned to fix stuff by Googling. All of it was Google. And it is a very powerful tool that we have today, and it is very accessible, and we should all take advantage of this technology. Now, so we are done with curiosity part. Now, the next part is setting goals. You have to set goals to once you're passionate about something and you realize this is what you want to do, you have to set goals. Like it doesn't really have nothing really happen if you sit around in a couch and daydream about things. That is not the way things happen. You need to get on your feet and you need to get start working right now to accomplish things. So in order to accomplish things, you need to have goals. You need to set very high goals. Like for me, my goal is to become a person who is who has transformed the automotive industry. So that is where I want to see myself in the future. That is why I said I don't think I am successful yet. And if I become a person who transform the whole automotive industry, I believe I am successful there. So that is where I've kept my goal. I am not sure if I'll reach there, but I strive towards reaching there. That is how I sort of structure my work and things like that. So once I have that high goal, I then what I do is like I chop it down into small chunks, divided by maybe a year, 3 months, couple of years. So in 1 year I want to be at this point, or in 3 months I want to accomplish so many tasks, and or in next 2 weeks I want to learn about a particular technology or particular subject. So that is how you reach the goal. Like I said earlier, you don't reach the top in just one leap. You have to take it step by step. And I'm just stressing on the part that I've mentioned earlier. You don't have to get it right in the first time. I didn't get it right in the first time. This is probably my second time, and this is my uh, fourth startup. And I haven't gotten it in right in the first 3 times. I am not sure if I'll get it right in the fourth time also. But what I am doing is I am I'm taking one step at a time, trying to reach that point. So that is about and like I said, there should be long-term goals and short-term plans, and that is the difference. You don't set a short-term goal. You shouldn't set a short-term goal. You should have short-term plans and a long-term goal. Now the vision. Uh, vision and goals are two different stuff. Uh, Vision is what I said earlier. I want to be a person who transforms the automotive industry, and my goal will be to make automotive transformational automotive technology and things like that. So that is vision. Now like I just I got really inspired by this quote by Confucius: "A man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct." So if you think, or if you have a vision for something and you think you can do it, you can absolutely do it. I mean, again, I'm just stressing the earlier point. I said I am not sure whether I'll reach that point, but I am always striving to do that. I'm always pushing myself to uh, reach that point. So and again, if you don't work enough on your passion, and if you don't dedicate enough time, and you think you cannot do it, yes, you are right, you cannot do it. And talking about your plan and goals and all, this is a very significant uh, picture that I've got recently. And you always think that your plan is like a straight line towards the finish line. It is not. It is always filled with troughs, hills, and valleys, and you'll always be faced with a lot of difficulties. And there will be people like this one. There will be people in your way who will be taking you across a lake where when you are feeling down or things like that. So uh, it's not an easy journey. It's not going to be an easy. If it was easy, a lot of people would already be very successful and very rich and everything. But it's not easy. That I want to say. It needs a lot of work. You have to work consistently, and that is my next point: persistence. Persistence. You need to keep working until you reach there. And if you slack out of at some point, you are losing there. And unless you keep working hard, and so this is a very striking video I found. This is Valentino Rossi, and I'll just play the video. And this is what he says in every interview that he's asked to. Uh, I hope you can hear the audio. Looks like my internet is not that great. Yeah. So I hope you got the idea. Right? You have to push very hard until you win. So it absolutely strikes me whenever I see Valentino Rossi, and every interview he gives, there is this dialogue: I push very hard, I push very hard. Yes, and he wins by pushing himself very hard. Otherwise, he wouldn't be Valentino Rossi. And that is about success. And if you want to succeed, you have to push very hard. You have to push very hard, and you have to set your high goals. And you don't have to be successful immediately like that. I had a even I had a delusion some time back. I became very successful when I got the award, but I was not. I later realized I'm not successful because my vision or vision was sort of uh, truncated due to when I got these awards and all. I thought like, yeah, I am somebody successful, but I am not. I was not. I failed miserably, and I managed to get up and come back. And and again, I'm saying I'm not successful yet. I will be successful one day. That's what I hope. And uh, you know, uh, see, this is the feeling that you have get when you are successful. You know, reaching on top of the world. That is where you should keep your goals, and that is how you can become successful. So I hope you had some takeaways from whatever I've talked. And I just want to finish off with just one thing: stay hungry, stay foolish, by Steve Jobs. So stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your words were really inspiring. Now, we would be having a Q&A session. All the audience can ask their questions and queries in the chat box. So, the first question: can I start a manufacturing company to manufacture something already present in the industry?
Just give me a second, sorry. Um, Can I start a manufacturing company to manufacture something already present in the industry? Yes, absolutely. You don't have to be the first one doing it. As long as you do it your way, you do it or you do it in a better way, you can absolutely do that. And it, I mean, even if you don't do anything different, also it is all right. I mean. It is again a competition in the industry, which again, you know, the the major thing that uh, pushes the industry forward is the competition. Once you start having a competition, there will be each competitor will try to uh, you know show them again try to innovate and try to bring in new features or try to bring in uh, new technologies into the process or new features into the product and things like that. So if you look at the phone market, it's pretty saturated now. But if you look at the phone market, probably a decade back, when you know. A decade back is a bit too long, but I would say we'll take it 5 years back. Uh, Imagine how the phone industry was like, the kind of technology that these companies were coming out with. Uh, you know, all of a sudden, Apple came up with two cameras, and everybody started following the suit. So that's how that's how because of the competition only the industry goes forward. Yes. So my answer is yes, you can start a manufacturing company, whatever you want to do, as long as uh, you make sure it is doing good.
Thank you, sir. Next question is by John, sir. How a newcomer will get initial investment to establish a startup?
All right. Regarding initial investments, it's quite dicey because it depends. For me, my company has always been bootstrapped. Bootstrapped in the sense like we sort of find funds from. So there is a concept called FQ, Friends, Family, and Fools. So we get funded by these three people. I mean, it doesn't have to be equity funding and all. You could borrow, lend, steal. I wouldn't suggest steal. Okay. So that's how you start something. I mean, don't. My humble advice to everybody watching this is don't wait for funding to come in. It might happen, it might not happen, but as long as soon as you have something sort of like a minimum viable product, there will be people coming asking for your product and asking for you to fund into the company. So so my again, just going back, my advice is don't wait for a funding to start something. Just start something. Let it be uh, if you are making a pen, first draw the design of a pen and show it to people. Ask how it is. Then iterate on it. Get different versions out to like ask for feedback and things like that. You don't need a lot of funding initially. Brainstorm between your friends. You brainstorm with your team and come up with the idea and learn about the industry. And in a lot of cases, what happens is you whatever you thought of doing won't be the thing that you will end up doing. So and if you try to get a funding at an early stage, I wouldn't actually advise you to get a funding at a very early stage, sometime in the idea stage or before that, because it is what happens is that way you are sort of giving away a lot of your equity, which you don't want to happen. Want to so once you have a product or a prototype out in the market, you'll have a very higher valuation, and you'll be able to raise more funds with the same equity that you give off during your first time. So I wouldn't advise. So takeaways are it's better to start bootstrap, and second one, get a funding after your prototype or product is ready.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question. How to be the advisor of a company?
Okay, that's a very difficult question. I honestly don't know the answer. To be so being an advisor, it depends on what kind of advice you need. For me, I am a hardcore engineer. I know I know how to make stuff. I know how to fix stuff. I know how to do all of those engineering part. But what I don't know is this thing, accounts, law, finance, things like that. That doesn't go into in my mind. So I am a person who would need advice on that front. So you have to approach people who has experience in that. It doesn't have to be a huge mentor or a person who's got a huge reputation or anything. It could be your friend who knows a bit about accounting. So that's how I got a lot of help. One of my friend was a lawyer, so I asked him for advice. So he will go and ask his seniors and people like that and get back to me with answers. So depends on what kind of advice you need. And you don't have to be a person who's very talented or very knowledgeable to be an advisor also. I
Sir,
hope that
last
answers.
question is having a clarification. I'm an assistant professor of economics having MBA degree also. I want to be an advisor. How can I become an advisor being an academician?
Like I said, that's a very good qualification. Yes, absolutely, you can be an advisor. It depends on if you get paid or anything. If you get paid being an advisor, that is a different story altogether. Because if you are getting paid, you'll have to understand how your current employment terms are. So depending on that, only you can become a paid advisor. There is no harm in advising anybody, for free. I hope that answers my question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think there is no more questions. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very
Sir,
much.
so there is a question. Is COVID time good for a start a new venture? How can startups overcome this period?
Okay. This is a brilliant question actually, because you know, if you look at history, majority of world's unicorns were born during a difficult period. So, if you, I'm not sure if my example is right, but I can't think of any examples right now. But the majority of all the unicorns are born during a difficult period. And yes, COVID is the best time to start something new. And as a disclaimer, I would say I also started a product. We also started a product in Hound Electric just because of COVID, and this is a business is all about taking grab of an opportunity, and this is an absolute opportune time, and make use of it, make absolute use of it, and be a unicorn. So this is the best time to start a startup. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
Q&A is over. I would now like to welcome Edwin Johnsey for the word of thanks.
Hello, everyone. We just really had a really motivating session. Mr. Paul Alex, thank you for this amazing session. Though you renamed it to be a session, simply a session by an innovator, it was really a motivational session by a successful innovator. Thank you. That was what we wanted. Thanks a lot. We will stay curious. We will stay persistent. We will set high goals and always try to be successful. Thank you. When it comes to the case of innovations among students, we have our principal, Dr. Joy Kale, who is always so thrilled for innovations among students. Thank you, Dr. Joy Kale, and of course our management for letting this happen, this amazing program happen. Then we have this conducted by our Startup and Innovation Cell of St. Thomas College. We have the convener, Dr. John Snudworth, who really worked hard to make this happen, to set this happen. Thank you, Dr. John Snudworth, and the coordinator of this program, who really coordinated everything, who really put everything to pieces and really made this wonderful program a success. Thank you, Mrs. Jeremy P. Joy, for this amazing program. And I thank our comparer who did an amazing job comparing, connecting everything, gliding through the program. Abharna Prakash, thank you. I also thank our my dear cell members who really make for their support for making this happen. Thank you, dear cell members and other coordinators, and my dear participants. Thank you. It was for you. The only aim of this program was to motivate for you, was a motivation for you, and I know you are motivated. So all those people who are motivated, thank you. Stay motivated. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin. And a big thanks to each and everyone who attended this session. Big